Welcome back to FM Stories. We set sail on the beginning of a new save, the Glory Hunt save. As you would see in the previous episode, setting up the save, we randomly selected the club that we were going to be taking charge of, and the wheel landed on Aston Villa. So without further ado, let's have a look and see what we've inherited. We're at the beginning of the Premier League season, and we've used the real world mode. So what it means is that there's still a lot of players over the course of the season, even over the course of the summer, that are still to join the club. And there's still an awful lot of players that are to leave the club as well. So first month or so of the season is going to be a bit of a tough one navigating that. Also, an injury crisis to start the season. So we've got a handful of players that are struggling to be fit for the opening day of the season. Obviously, Tyrone Mings is out long term. Wendy is out long term. Jacob Ramsey's out for 3 to 6 weeks to start. Alex Moreno's out 2 to 3 months to start. So we're going to be really testing the depth of this squad early on. As far as the club's concerned, I don't think the Premier League is an achievable target for this first season, but the FA Cup and the Conference League, particularly the Conference League, because obviously in real life, Aston Villa, as we record this, have just had the first leg of the semi-final. So hopefully we can make an impression in that competition. We are in our fourth qualifying round playing the winners of Vitória Guimarães and Dinamo Batumi. It looks like it's going to be Vitória Guimarães after the first leg, but we'll obviously see how that goes. Carabao Cup, we're not being judged on, so we don't care too much about that as far as the save's concerned. But hopefully we can make a decent run in the FA Cup, decent run in the Conference League, and then whatever happens in the league happens. We've made it to the end of August and we've got the second leg of the qualifying round against Vitória Guimarães coming up. We've had an interesting start to the season, I think is how you would describe it. We started with a game against Brentford where we were well on top in the first half. We were 3-0 up at half time, and then in the second half, we basically disintegrated. They scored, they missed a penalty, and then they got another goal back deep into injury time, but we managed to hold on for the 3-2 victory. We then went away to Burnley in the second league game of the season and just really were rubbish. We got a goal back in injury time. We had a couple of chances after the goal. But we weren't good enough to get a point in that game. We then had the home leg against Vitória Guimarães, and basically we played them off the park, came away with a 5-0 victory to put us in a strong position ahead of this second leg. And then in the most recent league game, at home to Bournemouth, we absolutely dominated the game and really probably should have had 4 or 5 in the first half. But we just didn't take our chances. They looked a bit threatening on the break in the second half, but we managed to pick up 2 goals and come away with a comfortable 2-0 victory. We did start the season with a 4-3-3. We've then gone to a 4-2-3-1, which seems to have worked a bit better in those most recent games. As far as the league's concerned, obviously we've only had 3 games. We've won 2, lost 1. We're in 6th on 6 points. A couple of teams at the top of the table there, Tottenham, Liverpool, Arsenal, all 100% record to start the season. But now the attention turns to the second leg against Vitória Guimarães, and hopefully we can make it through to the group stage of the Conference League. We've made one change to the team that started the last league game against Bournemouth. Matty Cash picked up a bit of a knock in that game, had to go up injured, so Edric Conte is going to play right back. Diego Carlos has come in at centre-half to partner Pau Torres. We are a bit light on proper options at the back. We are about to get Clement Lenglet on loan from Barcelona, who will help in the centre of defence and at left back, especially because Moreno's still out injured in terms of left back, so we've only got Lucas Digne really there. And then we've gone with the 4-2-3-1, so we've got back four, we've got Luis and Kamara in the 2 in midfield, with Diaby, McGinn and Zaniolo behind Watkins. So both teams are going in with a 4-2-3-1. Hopefully we can do the professional job and just make sure that we see ourselves through to the group stage. I'm going to throw in for them early here. They've worked some space on their right-hand side here. Cross comes in towards the back post. Consa gets his head on it. Diaby out to pick it up. Driving down the wing. Consa takes it off him. Infield to Kamara. Wide to Luxdina with loads of space. Forward to Zaniolo. McGinn in the box. Hits the post. And that would have been a great goal and a great start to the game if we managed to put that one in. Right, free kick for them. Gone short with it. Back to the centre half in their own half. Right, some space they've created on the left-hand side. Cut it into the box. That was some bad defending there. Loads of space on that right-hand side. Diaby doesn't go back. Consa's infield. Nuno Santos into the box and then just bends it into the bottom corner past Martinez. And then from the kick-off, Kamara, McGinn takes it off him, goes wide to Zaniolo, back to Digne. Kamara in looking for Douglas Luiz. We've lost out here. And they're looking to bring the ball back at us, but they've stopped them coming forward straight away. And Watkins wins the ball back. McGinn to Zaniolo. Back three for Diaby. And you've got to be at least hitting the target from there. Right, corner. Digne to take it. In swinger to the near post. Pau Torres gets up above everyone, heads it home, levels it on the night, restores the 5-goal advantage on aggregate, and just restores a bit of calm to the team. Gets up. His own man was in front of him to block off the defender. And we're back level. So, 1-1 at half-time on the night. Comfortable advantage on aggregate. Now it's just about doing a professional job and making sure we see it through to the group stage. Because this is a competition really we should be doing well in. We should have a pretty strong chance of being near the pointy end of the competition come the end of the season. Right, so we made some changes to get some fresh legs on because we're going to play an awful lot of games in August and September. The squad wasn't the fittest at the start of the season either, so let's just hope it doesn't cost us in this game. They're working the ball towards our area. In acres of space on the edge of the area into the box. And that is just abysmal. We've basically just opened a door and let them through here. Big gap for them to go through. And an easy enough finish in the end. All right, we've headed one clear, but now they've got it back. Wide to Nuno Santos again, ball into the box. And thank God he missed that. I think he was offside in the end though. But we are all over the place at the back. Right, McGinn wins it back. Duran through to Diaby, through on goal. And this time he does much better than the chance he had in the first half. Waits till the keeper goes down, puts it past him, levels it up on the night again, and restores the 5-goal advantage in aggregate. McGinn won it back into Duran, shifts it on to Diaby. His pace gets him away from the defence. He just waits for the keeper to show which side he's going and puts it the other side. And that should calm a few nerves and make sure we get through to the group stage. Consa with a throw, back to Diego Carlos. Tielemans, Zaniolo, Bailey back to Consa. And that's a terrible pass. He wins it back, goes back to Martinez. Pau Torres. Wide to Digne, down the line to Diaby, back to Digne. We're doing well keeping it now. Tielemans into Zaniolo. Shifts it on looking for Duran, but instead only could pick out the centre half. And now they're going to come back at us. And Andre Silva's in. And thankfully he's wasted the chance. We could have been in real bother here if they'd had the shooting boots on. Right, Revan with the throw. Zaniolo back to Pau Torres. Tielemans with some time. Looks to find Bailey, who just stood there. The defender reacted better. Bailey wins it back. Now they're attacking again. I mean, if we happen to come across a decent team, because we haven't played a decent team yet in the league, really, if we come across a decent team, we might be in a bit of bother with this formation and the tactic. We were far too open in this game. But we've made it through 7-2 on aggregate on the back of what we did in the first leg, and we're through to the group stage of the Conference League. We're now at the end of September. We've got a league game coming up against West Ham. It's a real battle because we're 6th after 6 games, they're 7th after 6 games. We've had an interesting run since the second leg against Victoria Gimmerich. We started with an away game against Wolves, a bit like the game on the opening day of the season against Brentford. We blew them out of the water in the first half, and then the second half, it allowed them chance after chance. They did get a goal back in injury time, but we hung on to win 2-1. Everton away in the next game, and we were truly atrocious. Calvert-Lewin got 2. We missed a penalty at 2-0 down in the first half, and just nothing went right for us in that game. We then had our first game in the Conference League. Now we've got a pretty decent group. We've been drawn with Cluj, Aberdeen, and AGF, so we should hopefully top that group. It didn't look like it was getting off to the best start when we went 1-0 down inside the opening 10 minutes, but we ended up coming with a 4-1 victory. But sign of things to come. We ended up losing Lucas Digne injured. Then we put Zaniolo back to left back because we'd made all of our substitutions, and he went off injured. And then we went to the game against Luton at home. In the end, that was a pretty comfortable 2-0 victory, but Ollie Watkins picked up an injury. And then against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, obviously as part of the aims for this save, it really has no bearing on what we're looking to do. We're only looking to win the Premier League and the FA Cup in England. So we picked a pretty much fully rotated team. And then during that game, we managed to lose Courtney House injured and Clement Longlet injured. So we are really struggling. We actually should have beaten Arsenal. We were 2-0 up and threw it away in the second half. I mean, we were 2-1 up with a couple of minutes left, and Conter and Olsen decided to pass the ball backwards and forwards to each other. One of them passed it short. Jesus went in, scored a goal to level it up, and then it went to penalties, and Diaby and Ramsey missed, which saw us knocked out, which, to be honest, isn't the end of the world. It's one less competition's worth of games, especially given the injury problems that we've had in the squad. Looking at the squad at the moment, we've got Zaniolo, who's coming back from an injury. We've got Longlet, who picked up an injury in the last game. We've got Courtney House, who's out. Ollie Watkins is out. Obviously, Mings and Buendia and Moreno were already out. Digne's out. So we are really, really struggling again at left back. And we've played a lot of games already so far this season. Hopefully, we can bounce back from going out the Carabao Cup and pick up 3 points away at West Ham. So this is the side we've picked for the game against West Ham. In the end, Longlet is fit enough to start, but probably not to play the full game. And Zaniolo failed the fitness test. So we are struggling slightly for numbers. We've gone with front three of Leon Bailey wide right, Jacob Ramsey wide left, with Diaby through the middle, and with Duran on the bench. We are getting down to the bare bones of the squad. We have switched after the Everton defeat. We've gone back to the 4-3-3 that we actually started the season with. They're going with a 4-2-3-1, so hopefully we can match up pretty well against them. But it's going to be a tough game. Right, Ward-Prowse with a free kick for them into the box. The header from a Gerd goes over the top, thankfully, but it was a free header that he had there. Other than that, not an awful lot's happened in the early stages of this game. Right, free kick for them. Agerd into Souček. Profile back to Zuma. we're trying to keep them in front of us, but right, Emerson with some space to move into on the right hand side be a problem. Gets to the right to the byline, crosses. Martinez comes and claims the cross. I did think the way he was coming out there, he was going to get beaten in the air by the attacker behind him. Martinez throws it wide to Cash, who's got some time. Down the line to Bailey, into Douglas Luiz. McGinn, over the top. Diaby it's a great finish, but he had to be offside. He's a good 5 yards offside, I think. It's one of those ones that I think so far offside that they probably don't even bother drawing the lines. So McGinn plays it up. Actually, hell of a lot closer than it looked, and it's a great finish. It's time it slightly better. And there we are, half-time 0-0. And, I mean, you couldn't write it. Matty Cash apparently picked up a damaged foot. Ponce is also showing, looks like he's now injured. Longlet isn't going to last the full game. And we are rapidly running out of defenders here. All right, we made one change at half-time. We brought Carlos on for Ponce, who was obviously struggling. Right, a corner, Leon Bailey to take it. In swinging with the left foot, up in the air, away to Diaby, wide to Bailey, who I think was probably offside. And they get the block on the shot. Right, Cash with a throw. Bailey, Cash. Low cross, it's pulled back to Douglas Luiz. Ramsey's shot's blocked. Longlet intercepts their ball forward. And Cash with a throw. Straight to their player. Then Ram comes away. Luckily, Torres steps in. Bailey looking to go down the outside. On his right foot. Can't keep the shot down. It's always rising over the top. Right, we made some changes to get some fresh legs on. To be honest, given the way this game's gone, I mean, we've had all the chances, but given the state of the squad and the fitness of the players, I think we'd be pretty happy with a point at this stage. Into injury time now. And there we are, full time, 0-0. Game we've actually dominated. We've had so many shots. We've had so much more possession. But we are starting to run on empty with the squad. And that's not a good sign, given the season's only 2 months old. There we go, the end of episode 1 of the save, and things have got off to a pretty decent start. We've won our first game in the Conference League group stage. We should hopefully do pretty well in that competition this season. League-wise, we've started pretty well. We've got 13 points from 7 games. We're currently sat in 4th. And Carabao Cup really didn't matter that much to us, and we weren't disgraced. We played a rotated team and went out to Arsenal. I mean, there's not much you can say about that. Things are going well. Obviously, the big aim for this season is going to be the Conference League and then the FA Cup when that comes round. Hopefully, by the time that comes round, the squad will be a bit healthier. We've got, coming up in the next episode, we've got, I think, 4 group games in the Conference League. So hopefully by the time that episode's finished, we'll have qualified for the knockout stages of the Conference League, because, like I say, we should have a pretty decent chance of going pretty far in that competition. And I think in this save, Conference League might actually be one of the hardest competitions to win, just because if I don't win it in this first season, we've got to find a club that qualifies for the Conference League that sacks the manager, or we've got to qualify for the Conference League through a league without getting sacked for underperforming. So hopefully we can do it this season. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.